Let's go ahead and move on. Mr. Pedro Moreno and my colleague, Councilmember Jones, will be translating for Mr. Moreno. And Ms. Andrea will also translate back to the audience for Sergeant Provost. Sir.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Pedro Moreno.
Good afternoon, don't even know it's evening. My name is Pedro.
Anyway, ahora estoy tratando de translate to more translation.
Mr. Moreno speaks Spanish. He and his wife work. We've already talked about business. He's nervous. He's nervous because he's a small business owner, and quite frankly, he's intimidated by you.
Me?
Yes, absolutely, and I understand why. Because you are, when people give ideas about stuff, you confront them.
Councilmember, let's
let me tell you how the prices are going to be increased. He and his wife work in his shop, right? So they don't pay people. They do it, they're a small business. So for a small business to have to go change forms costs money, first of all. So your statement that it wasn't going to increase the cost of small business is not accurate. Currently, it is not against the law to not have insurance. If you have ever been a small business owner, you would understand when you first start out, it's you and your wife, or your kid comes after school and helps you, right? And so when you're asking people to go and do research or go on the internet, which he doesn't have access to, or speak a language that he doesn't understand, you're asking him to put in resources that he does not have. I don't know this guy who just spoke a second ago, but he actually verbalized a lot of the concerns of Mr. Moreno. So whether it takes 3 months or 6 months for them to run out of their forms, because you brought up running out of their forms, they're going to have to go and they're going to have to change their forms, right? That costs money. If you're a small business owner, you would know that. Whether you have to go to Kinko's and print them or whatever, or wherever it is you've got to get to put the forms in. He also doesn't know exactly like what's supposed to be in the forms, right? And since you can go and cite him for not having something in the forms, that costs money, right? So an example that we talked about was health insurance. Well, we all know everybody should have it, but everybody can't afford it. And when you're a small business, you have to pick between what you have and what you don't have. So for you to mandate insurance in some amount is going to increase the cost of his business. And what you'll end up going to do is you're going to run the small shops out of business. That effectively is what you're going to do. So to say that you are not increasing the cost is absolutely wrong. But I got to tell you, my perspective from sitting here is this isn't about like really listening to what these people have to say. This is about challenging them and finding the worst case scenario for everything. When we were talking, he talked about when people come in. James, you may appreciate this. You got a small shop, the people know you. They can't afford to go to a bigger shop where they're going to want all their money up front. But they've been doing business with this family for years, right? And the family knows that they're struggling, so they're willing to pay the money like over time and give them back their car, right? Except for when you go to one of those big people who don't know them, I want your money now. And so what he told me, he and his wife, and I'm certain a lot of people have this same problem, they don't want the government trying to, in a perfect world, everyone could go out and get a capital loan and have video cameras and everything else. But everybody can't. And in this area in particular, you have language problems, and they don't understand, he and his wife don't understand, okay, they just found out about this. I don't know how they found out about it. All right, I don't know. They found out about it today. Why do you have to go forward with something on Wednesday? This is not like Chicken Little. Let them work. Different people have different stuff. And I'm just frustrated as a council member. I won't be here at the end of, after December 31st. Part of me is really thankful because you see how city government works. But the other part of me is really sad because Councilmember Rodriguez is having this, but if you're not going to listen to the people and you're going to chastise them, you're blaming them for getting together now. That's what he says. And he feels like whenever somebody says something, and they speak English, they speak your language. And you're jumping on them, trying to make them look bad. And he doesn't even speak this language. He doesn't even feel comfortable but he wants his voice to be heard because he pays, he's licensed with the city. It's a lot of that, see? He's licensed with the city, but you're imposing things on him he cannot afford. And I know you don't get it, and you don't want to get it, at least to me. That's my personal opinion. But you're going to run small business out of business, and what's going to end up happening is, with older people, he told me with older people, they may have their son driving their car, or their grandson driving their car. They don't have access to the internet, or texting, or any of that stuff. So how are they going to give the authorization? And for some people, it's their sole means of transportation. And he's just like, doesn't want for you to attack him, right? He wants for you to listen, like you really care, and stop picking fights with everybody.
Council member, okay, thank you. Let me have Sergeant Provost. Just to the specific question.
On another thing, there are very specific requests, since everyone keeps saying that nobody gave no requests. ASA gave a 4-page specific request about how to change.
Council member, you'll have that opportunity tomorrow. Thank you. I'm trying to move on so everyone can be heard tonight. Thank you, Council member.
Do y'all agree with me?
Thank you, Councilmember. And I didn't mean to feel like anybody to feel like I don't care about what you were saying. That's definitely not who I am. And I've talked to the Councilmember. I understand, but so are you. That's good. So am I. Anyway, to answer his question, I understand, Councilmember. To answer the question, that's what the whole 6-month training thing was all about, sir. If you do want to hear, is that if you were having problems with your work order or you didn't understand, we do have people for 6 months. We're not going to come out there and write you a ticket. That's not what this is about. It is about protecting you. And I do care about small businesses. And the thing is that we didn't ask for the insurance. That was asked of us to put that in there. That's not something that I wanted. The police department, we don't know. It was business owners who said that insurance is important for you. So every time someone stands up and say, you know, we wanted the insurance, we want to do this, we want to impose this on you. Everything that we put in this ordinance is to protect you and to protect the public. That's what really it's all about. It's not about anything other than that. And I just want to say again, no, we're all not going to agree on all of the things. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant. Also, Mr. Moreno, Ms. Reyes will be able to speak to you on the side here to translate to you in Spanish, if you're interested. Let me call up Ms. Vanderpool, followed by Mr.